Oh, alrighty. What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Banging the Booth Podcast. Just getting everything settled. We'll be ready to go. Hope everyone's day's going well, week's going well, weekend going well. If you missed it last week, I guess I think I might have mentioned it last week. But I've officially graduated from college as my graduation was Sunday, so I'm finally done with college completely, and now moved on from college, which is crazy and nice to say both at the same time. So now on to a new chapter with podcast and work. Uh, what graduation was pretty nice. There was one speech that went a bit longer than it should have, but overall it was a nice graduation, and happy to be moved on from. I'm happy to be moved on from college. Uh, yeah, so let's get right into it. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Booth Podcasting. Also, much support to this point, very much appreciate it. So today's Immaculate grid: Rockies, Twins, under three. I think that's under 3 ERA season, and then Giants, Pirates, and Astros. Rockies and Giants. I could go Jake McGee. I'm thinking that's where I'm going to go. 0.7. I will very much take that. Rockies, Pirates. Excuse me. Rockies, Pirates. Who would fit? Oh. Actually, it might be a great answer for this. Justin Morneau. That is a lot higher than I would have expected because I feel like it's two teams not a lot of people would associate him with. I mean, I think like Twins, Pirates. You want to tell me 9%? I can hear that, but that's shocking. Astros and Rockies. I could go Dexter Fowler. I don't have 7%. Okay. Twins, Giants. I could go Sergio Romo. Let's try to think of. Let's see if I can figure something else out. Panic, no. Crawford, no. Sandoval, no. Yaz, no. Flores, no. Kepler, no. Polanco, no. Barrios, no. I don't know. I don't think actually Taylor might have played for. Did he play for Twins? Yeah, he did. 5%. I'll take that. Pirates, Twins. I could go Francisco Liriano. I could have gone Justin Morneau. Who else can I go with for Pirates, Twins? I could go Carlos Santana, but that's probably be a high number. Not even be the top answer now that I think about it. Pirates, Twins. Pirates and Twins. Why am I blinking on someone for Pirates, Twins? No. Ugh. I don't think he's somehow played for Pirates. I think he was just Twins and Cubs. I think he played for Twins. I don't think he played for Astros. Definitely played for Giants. He didn't play for Pirates, but I can use Carlos Gomez here. 2%, I will take that. Pirates, Twins. He's also going to be high up for Bly 11. You know what? I'm curious. Would he fit here? No. Okay. I'm gonna use no. I'm gonna go Bly 11. 20%. That's probably top answer. Dang it. All right. Giants under 3 ERA season. Sergio Romo, I imagine for sure. Yep, 3%. I'll take that. Astros, I'll throw a random reliever, Tony Sipp. Yep, 0.2%. I'll take that. Total rarity score 148. I will throw in one last guess here. I'll throw in Tony Watson. And yep, 0.7%. So total rarity scores 148. I imagine Bly 11's going to be top answer. Morneau could be. Bly 11's the only one of the ones I went with that were top answers. Some of these top answers are shocking. Rockies, Giants, 37% is Chris Bryant. Not surprised at all. Giants, Twins at 15% is Joe Nathan. I forgot he was a Giant. Giants, under 3 ERA season, 28% is Tim Lincecum. Pirates, Rockies, 11% is Connor Joe. Pirates, Twins at 20% is for Bly 11. Pirates under 3 ERA season, 31% is Paul Skeens. Astros, Rockies at 36% is Mike Hampton. I don't know why he didn't come to mind. And then I went Fowler pretty quickly. Astros, Twins at 51% is Carlos Correa. And Astros under 3 ERA season at 16% is Justin Verlander. Connor Joe is like the most surprisingly top answer of those. Let's go to side game. So the category today is batter hitting walks. And it's 2015 American League Central, 2000s to 2025, 2026 Red Sox who had under 30 home runs. 2026 first baseman in MLB currently. 2000 to 2026 Royals with under 30 home runs in that season. And then a 2015 in the NL Central. 2000 to 2026, I don't know how much he walked, but he's definitely not that much power. Dustin Pedroia, I'm also not sure how I'm really going to do with the walks. Dustin Pedroia, I'll throw in there. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it to be that high, so I will very much take that. 98%, I am not mad at that fine at all. Mookie Betts, top answer. Huh. I mean, him having under 30 home runs is surprising in its own. Under 30 home runs, Royals with Johnny Damon. So I know he wasn't really much power, especially in his Royals days. 94%, not mad at that. 65 walks, 86 Detroit, 65. I'm not mad at that. Mike Sweeney up there, Beltran, Alex Gordon, interesting. Billy Butler, Carlos Santana. I'm not mad at that. Okay. Current season with walks. First baseman. Alonso. I could go Ben Rice. I could go Contreras, though he's injured. I could go Yandy. I could go Vlad. I think Freeman sneakily is like someone who walks a lot. I don't know if he'd be up there or not. Yeah, not a great answer. 30 walks, 87th percentile. Nick Kurtz, really? Sometimes these walk people surprise me. Michael Bush. Moontalker Murakami underratedly. 2015 NL Central. I'm gonna throw a Cub. I don't know if they'll end up being top. I feel like given it's NL Central, I should throw someone from the Cubs. It definitely won't be Javier Baez. That dude does not walk at all. McCutcheon's like 2 years removed from his MVP season. Could he maybe be up there? Oh, actually, the dude literally is known for getting on base. Joey Votto's got to be up there. Literally top answer. How about that? Dexter Fowler. I don't know if I would have necessarily expected that to be the top answer for Cubs in 2015, but so be it. Oddly enough, after we were just talking about Nick Kurtz, he just homered in game against Cubs. I would not necessarily expect to be Dexter Fowler. Rizzo up there, okay, I can hear that. McCutchen, oddly enough, second, so I wouldn't have been far off 100 percentile. I would have gone McCutchen. The big gap between Votto and McCutchen, damn. If you're on audio, the gap, Votto 143, McCutchen 98. I don't think there's a bigger gap in the ones so far we've done, yeah. And 2015 AL Central, I mean, this is when Miggy was starting to, like, peak out of power, not be as much power. Lindor, I feel like I can't go wrong. Well, then again, I think this is Lindor early, so maybe not a good answer. Jose Abreu, maybe. Buxton. Well, there's also the entire 2015 Kansas City Royals. I have a feeling it's going to be someone from the Royals, but the question is who's going to be the walks guy. Alcides Escobar is the contact speed dude, so that in top of the lineup. So it tends to make me think Escobar. You know, I worked with the Red Sox. I'm going to put it with this. Let's see. Not at all. Carlos Santana. Huh. I did not expect that. And the gap between first and second, Miggy's oddly enough up there, 77. 108 to 77. Damn. So my total score is 350. I did beat the target score 247, but not my best of days with Statpad. Might have been one of my worst that I've done with the podcast, but we'll move on. So daily walk-off, the theme is RBI by decade. We're doing Cleveland and the Guardians and the Yankees since they're in the current series. It's 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. For 90s and 2000s, top 5. And 2010s and 2020s, it's top 10. Not 10. What? Player options: Michael Brantley, Stephen Kwan, Jason Kipnis, Carlos Baerga, Sandy Alomar Jr., Josh Naylor, Albert Bell, Grady Sizemore, Travis Hafner, Edwin Encarnacion, Andres Jimenez, and Johnny Peralta. Baerga, Alomar, and Bell are going to be 90s. Hafner, Sizemore, and Peralta are going to be 2000s. 2010s will be Brantley, Kipnis, and then, yeah, I think this might be a full walk-off homer. And it is a full walk-off homer. How about that? So full correct answer for the Guardians. 1990s top 5 in RBIs. Carlos Baerga, Sandy Alomar Jr., Albert Bell. 2000s top 5 in RBIs, which is for decades, not the year 2000s. Johnny Peralta, Grady Sizemore, Travis Hafner. 2010 top 10 in RBIs. Jason Kipnis, Edwin Encarnacion, and Michael Brantley. In 2020s top 10 in RBIs. Stephen Kwan, Andres Jimenez, and Josh Naylor. And then as for New York Yankees, same categories, just different players. Derek Jeter, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Kyle Higashioka, Anthony Volpe, Chris Granderson, Mark Teixeira, Jason Giambi, Don Mattingly, Tino Martinez, A-Rod, and Hideki Matsui. Mattingly, Tino, and Jeter, I'm going to say, are 90s. Matsui, Giambi, A-Rod for 2000s. Teixeira, Granderson, Judge. I think 10s and 2020s. I might be wrong, but I think otherwise I'm for sure going to be fully right. And it ends up being a walk-off homer anyway, so that worked out. So full correct answers for each cap for the Yankees. 99's top 5 on RBIs, Don Mattingly, Tino Martinez, Derek Jeter. 2000 top 5 on RBIs, A-Rod, Jason Giambi, Hideki Matsui. 2010 top 10 in RBIs, Mark Teixeira, Chris Granderson, Aaron Judge. In 2020's top 10 in RBIs, Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Volpe, and Kyle Higashioka. So that's it for the weekly games. Switch over to YouTube. Before we get into MLB weekly recap, I might as well talk about the Myles Garrett and trade. Let me just pull up the details. I debated doing it immediate reaction, but I was at work at the time when the trade happened. And I just didn't get around to it yesterday, so this will just kind of be that in a way. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I mean, I'm using. This could be a good one. Yeah, here we go. Brown's article about it, so I'll use that. And also mentioned about the AJ Brown trade too. So this was the Browns trading Myles Garrett. They traded him yesterday, part of the June 1st, after June 1st, whole new mindset with teams. So the Browns sent Myles Garrett to the Rams in exchange for Jared Verse, a 2027 first, a 2028 second, and a 2029 third round pick. My quick, immediate reaction was Brown season's over. Like, if you have season tickets, you might just want to sell them all at this point, or unless you like want to keep sell year round because this season's over. They don't have Garrett. They'll still have bits and pieces here and there on the defense, but I mean they can pack the bag on the season already. In terms of what they got back, look, Jared Verse is solid, but they should have gotten more than one first round pick. Like someone was saying, oh, Myles Garrett's turning 30, and that tends to be where sacks decline. And I'm like, you're really I'm absolutely I'm not gonna say who this content creator who was that said it, but I'm like, nah, bro, no, just no. But I'm just I was puzzled that they did it, but the Rams really just made this offer. Apparently, they didn't want to refuse it, and well, here we are. Myles Garrett's no longer with Cleveland Browns, and he's off to the Rams. And the Rams might have locked that they at least are going to lock very much that they're all in this year. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment just to pull up the AJ Brown trade. Obviously, the AJ Brown thing was rumored for a while. But it officially became official yesterday, very soon after the Myles Garrett trade. Here we go. And this move made sense for the Eagles. He was just giving them a rough time in the end. Patriots need receivers. Eagles traded AJ Brown to the New England Patriots for their for 2028 first and 2027 fifth round pick, which reunites AJ Brown with Mike Vrabel, who when they were together with the Titans unreally. This move was bound to happen with the Eagles. They'd already got a whole bunch of replacements for AJ Brown. Brown was toxic last year with them. It was pretty much set this was going to happen, and they made the right move. For the Patriots, it makes sense because they're in need of receiver. Whether this is the right guy or not, you can make another debate on that. But it was definitely the right move for Philly. Could they have gone more in different scenarios? Maybe, but and then they had to do it. That's my reactions to moves from NFL from yesterday. But yeah, with Browns season, I'm basically cooked. They'll maybe win some games, but it's they get apparently one of the easiest schedules in NFL, just to then within a month later to lose Myles Garrett. It's well, that doesn't mean anything when you no longer have Myles Garrett. So I don't know. Maybe it does somehow fall off in sacks this year. Maybe 30 does catch up to him. I don't think that's actually realistic that well, but I don't know. But we'll see what happens. All right. Sorry. Okay, let's get into it. So, MLB Weekly Recap. So, going back to May 27th, the Brewers beat the Cardinals 2-1. And Alan Ashby's win in relief marks the 9th win this season in relief for him. That's tied with 1938 Mace Brown for the most wins in relief in the team's first 53 games of the season since 1900. Phillies beat the Padres 3-0. Christopher Sanchez scoreless innings marked 41 2/3 scoreless innings, which is the longest in Phillies history since 1903, passing 1911 Grover Alexander's 41 innings, 2011 Cliff Lee's 34, 1984 Larry Anderson's 32 2/3, 1958 7-58 Dick Farrell's 32 2/3, and 2024 Larry Anderson. Or not, Ranger Suarez, not Larry Anderson. 1950, Robin Roberts, and 1949, Ken Heitzelman, 32 innings. Also, his 7 shutout innings marks 44 2/3 scoreless innings pitched total because he finished after 7, which is the 7th longest single-season scoreless innings pitch streak since 1920, behind 1988 Oral Hershiser's 59, 1968 Don Drysdale's 58, 1968 Bob Gibson 47, 2015 Zach Greinke 45 2/3, 1933 Carl Hubble 45 1/3, and 1950 Sam McGlee 45, and passing 2022 Zach Gallen 44 1/3, and 2007 Brandon Webb's 42. Also, his 5th straight start of 7+ innings, which is tied for second most since 1900 in MLB history, behind 98 Oral Hershiser, 1968 Don Drysdale 6, and tied with 2007 Brandon Webb, 1968 Bob Gibson, and 1904 Doc White. Also marks second pitcher since 1900 to make 5+ starts in the calendar month and not allowing a run, joining September 1988. I think that is not 98. Or Hershiser. Mets beat the Reds 4-2. Once on the first, marked 6 homers in 7 games, tied for most in a 7-game span in his career. 8 homers in the last 12 games, tied for most in 12-game span in his career. White Sox beat the Twins 15-2. Murakami solo homer on the 7th is his 20th this season in 55 games, which is tied for second most homers in the first 55 career games. MLB history, behind 2017 Bellinger 22 and 1930 Wally Burgers 21, and tied with 2015-16 Gary Sanchez, is also tied for second most in White Sox history in the first 55 games of the season, behind 1994 Frank Thomas 21, and tied with 2006 Jim Thome. David Sandlin from Brooks Lee striking out swinging in the first after a leadoff homer by Byron Buxton till Buxton's fly out to left to end the 5th inning, which was the last batter he faced. He retired 18 batters in a row, which is most by a White Sox pitcher who was making his debut since 1926. Also is tied for the 3rd most consecutive batters retired at any point in Major League debut since 1961, behind April 29, 2018, Nick Kingman, June 8, 1999, Dan Smith, 20, and April 6, 1997, Glendon Rush, and September 21st, 1986, Jimmy Jones was 20, and tied with July 7th, 1993, Kirk Ruder. Yankees beat the Royals 7-0. Garrett Cole's 10 strikeouts marks 28 games with 10+ strikeouts as a Yankee, which is most in Yankees history, ahead of Ron Guidry's 23 and David Cohn's 21, and CC Sabathia's 20. Also, 0 walks marks his 23rd 10+ strikeouts and 0 walk start, which is 4th most in MLB history, behind Randy Johnson's 36, Max Scherzer's 31, and Kurt Schilling and Clayton Kershaw's 27. Astros beat the Rangers 4-3. Yordan Alvarez's 2-homer game marks 21 homers this season in 57 games, just fewest team games to 20 homers in a season in Astros history. Also makes him the 5th Astros player with 2+ homers in back-to-back games, joining 2023 Jose Altuve, 2000 Richard Hidalgo, and Moises Alou, and 1973 Doug Rader. Dodgers beat the Rockies 4-1. Shohei Ohtani's leadoff homer of the first marks 2nd time he hit homers in consecutive pitching starts in his career, joining June 9th to the 15th, 2023. His .82 ERA in 9 starts marks tied for Fourth lowest ERA in the first 9 starts of the season since 1913, excluding openers. Behind 2021 Jacob deGrom's .62, 1966 Juan Marichal's .69, and 1914 Dutch Lerner's .76, and tied with 2009 Zach Greinke and 1914 Eddie Saccati. The homer plus 6 no-hit innings makes him the sixth pitcher with a homer and 6 no-hit innings since 1976, joining September 27, 2015, Jake Arrieta, April 12, 2008, Matt Cain, June 5th, 2006, Carlos Zambrano, June 14th, 1997, Mark Clark, and July 14th, 1977, Tom Seaver. That's it for April 27th. There's nothing from April 28th. So jumping to April 29th. Mariners beat the Diamondbacks 7-6 in 10 innings. J.P. Crawford's 2-homer game marks his first in his time in MLB and first in his life since July 4th, 2017 for Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, which I think they were called the Fighting Phils at the time. But that's the Phillies minor league team, by the way, for those wondering. Dodgers beat the Phillies 4-2. Schwarber solo homer in the sixth marks his 209th homer with the Phillies in 5 seasons, passing A-Rod with the Yankees 208 for fourth most homers in the first 5 seasons with the team, behind Babe Ruth's 235 with the Yankees, Mark McGwire's 220 with the St. Louis Cardinals, Ralph Kiner 215 with the Pirates, and also ahead of David Ortiz's 208 with the Red Sox and Albert Pujols 201 with the Cardinals. General note: Brian Reynolds walk-off 2-run homer in the 9th for Pirates 6-5 win over the Twins. MJ Melendez was a walk-off 2-run homer in the 10th in a Mets 9-7 win over the Marlins in the 10th. Miguel Vargas walk-off 2-run homer in the 10th in the Mets 9-7 win over the White Sox 4-3 win over the Tigers in 10. And Ezekiel Tovar's walk-off 2-run homer in the 9th in Rockies 8-6 win over the Giants. Part of a 2-homer game for Ezekiel Tovar. Marks the four walk-off homers on this day. Which is tied for second most walk-off homers in a single day, behind May 28, 2004-5, and tied with August 28, 2020, August 21st, 2003, May 20th, 2003, and August 6th, 1989. That is it for May 29th. For May 30th, Nationals beat the Padres 9-4, but Fernando Tatis Jr. finally on this day got his first homer of the season in the 5th inning, making it basically about 2 months before he got his first homer of the season, which is crazy to say. Now, not to say he's having a bad season, because he's actually kind of surprised, kind of not, actually having like a pretty good season. I'll pull it up. Fernando Tatis Jr. I'll share the tab, because it's like kind of interesting how like only 1 home run. I mean, could be he got more since I last checked, but only 1, and yet he's having a pretty good season. Oh, he actually has 2. Oh, yes. No, only 1. Oh, that's RBI. So yeah, still only 1 homer, but he's still hitting like 3. He's hitting 266 with 340 on base and 318 slug, so like, and 658 OPS. So I mean, like, still having pretty good season, all things considered, but it's just crazy he only has 1 home run and was at this point for him. 57 games, 1 home run. That's nearly 2 months worth of games. And to get 1 homer, which is crazy. And just says a lot. Nationals beat the Brewers 9-2. Christian Walker's 3-run homer in the 8th is his 9th this month, which is tied for the most homers in a calendar month in his career, tied with May 2022 and passing August 25th, 2025, and May 2023's 8. He did not hit another homer, so that was his end total for the month was 9. Braves beat the Reds 5-2. Ronald Acuna Jr.'s 2-homer game out of the leadoff spot is his 15th multi-homer game out of the leadoff spot, which is tied for 5th most in MLB history, behind Mookie Betts' 26, George Springer's 24, Schwarber's 21, and Alfonso Soriano's 19, and tied with Francisco Lindor. Plus his 2 stolen bases in this game marks 4 homers, 5 stolen bases, and 4 walks in the last 3 games, making him the 3rd player with 4+ homers and 4+ stolen bases in 3-game span since 1898, joining 2024 Shohei Ohtani and 1922 Matt Carey. His 4 walks is the most of any player on the list. Mariners beat the Diamondbacks 5-1. Julio Rodriguez home run in the third is his 10th this month, homer this month, 2 more than any other calendar month of his career. That is it for May 30th. For May 31st, the Reds beat the Braves 6-4. Ronald Acuna Jr. stole home run in the first, marks 5 homers on, and then also having a walk on the day, 5 stolen bases and 6 walks in the last 4 games, making him the 4th player to reach for 5+ homers and 4+ stolen bases in a 40+ game span, a 4-game span since 1898, joining Shohei Ohtani, 1987 Eric Davis, 1958 Willie Mays, and 1958 Willie Mays. His 6 homers is the most of anyone on the list. Mets beat the Marlins 10-1. Carson Bench's leadoff homer in the first is the Mets' 4th player with a leadoff homer this season, making them the 3rd team in MLB history with 4 different players with a leadoff homer before a team's 60th game. Joining 2025 Yankees Paul Goldschmidt, Trent Grisham, Austin Wells, Ben Rice, and 2007 Tampa Bay Devil Rays, now just the Rays, Rocco Baldelli, Carl Crawford, Elijah Dukes, and B.J. Upton. Juan Soto's grand slam homer in the 6th marks 9 homers in the last 15 games, which is tied for most in a 15-game span of his career. Also done so in 2019 and 2024. And only player in MLB hit in Mets history with more homers in a 15-game span was 1985 Gary Carter and 1962 Frank Thomas's 10. Brewers beat the Astros 2-0. Jacob Zaraski's 8 strikeouts and 1 double allowed, marks 68 strikeouts and 1 extra base hit in the last 7 starts. He's the only pitcher since 1900 with 55+ strikeouts and 1 or 0 extra base hits in a 7-game span. Giants beat the Rockies 19-6. Willie Adames' grand slam homer in the 5th is the 4th this calendar month for the Giants, which is tied for most in the calendar month in Giants history, tied with April 1970 and passing May 2025, July 2010, April 2005, August 2000, May 2000, August 1996, September 1954, July 1953, June 1946, July 1938, and September 1924. Luis Arias's 1 hit and 0 strikeout game marks 78 hits and 9 strikeouts in the 56 games this season. It's his 88th 56-game span, many overlapping with 70+ hits and 9 or less strikeouts since 2024. Last player to do so was 2014 Victor Martinez. Yankees beat the A's 13-8, which was this was their 13-hit run, 11 homer 3rd inning game. The 13-run inning is 1 run shy of the Yankees' record of 14 in the 5th on July 6, 1920. The 10 before the first out of the inning is tied for second most in MLB history since 1961 behind May 7, 2009 Red Sox 6th inning, 12 runs, and tied with June 27, 2003 Red Sox 1st inning, May 24, 1999 Toronto Blue Jays 7th, April 30th, 1996 Minnesota Twins 5th, May 31st, 1994 San Diego Padres 2nd inning, September 11th, 1990 Cubs 2nd inning, and August 15th, 1962 White Sox 9th inning. The runs plus 0 homers makes it the 5th time since 1961 that team scored 13+ runs in an inning without hitting a homer, joining March 28th, 2024 Diamondbacks in the 3rd inning 14, bottom of the 3rd 14, July 15th, 1997 San Francisco Giants top 7 13. Sorry about this. Just give me a moment. September 14th, 1978, Angels top 9, 13, and April 10th, 1977, Cleveland Guardians top 8, 13. The first 12 batters reaching safely in the inning. That's time for most consecutive batters to reach safely, start an inning before out number 1 since 1961 with May 7th and 2009 Red Sox 6th inning and August 2nd, 1986 Royals 7th inning. The runs is the most in a game by a team to get all of its run hits in one frame since 1961. Also the first to score 13+ runs in a game with all their runs and hits coming in the same inning. And then general note from the day, there have been 20 times since 1900 of a pitcher allowing 1 or 0 runs in the calendar months with 30+ innings pitched Both Christopher Sanchez and Jacob Misiorowski did it in May, are the only ones to do it in the same month in the same year. That's it for May 31st. For June 1st, Tigers beat the Rays 10-9. Dylan Dingler's 2-run homer, Kerry Carpenter solo home run, and Riley Green solo home run. The third is back-to-back-to-back, which is the first back-to-back-to-back homers for the Tigers since August 8th, 2020, again at the Pirates' 11-5 win. First inning, Miguel Cabrera, CJ Cron, and Jamer Candelario. Brewers beat the Giants 16-2. The Giants scored 19 on May 31st and gave up 16 in this game. They're the second team since 2001 with 16-plus scored and allowed in consecutive games, either order, joining September 4th and 6th, 2013 Tigers, 20 allowed in a 20-4 loss to the Reds at Boston, and 16 scored in a 16-2 win at the Kansas City Royals, and third time in New York State Subsequent Giants history, joining August 6th to the 7th, 1894, 21 allowed in 21-8 to loss to the Dodgers, and 16 scored in a 16-8 win at the Washington Senators, which is a franchise that's not around anymore. And July 3rd to the 4th, 1947, 19 scored in 19-2 to win against the Dodgers, and 16 allowed in a 16-7 loss at the Dodgers in game one of a doubleheader. That's it for the most part of this week's recap. Standings update, not including today's games, and we'll go over the games currently going on that have gone final or haven't started yet. Standings update. In the AL East, Rays in first place at 36-21, followed by the 36-23 Yankees, followed by the 29-31 Blue Jays, followed by the 28-32 Orioles, followed by the 25-33 Red Sox. In the AL Central, the Guardians in first place at 34-27, followed by the 32-28 White Sox, followed by the 28-33 Twins, followed by the 23-37 Royals, followed by the 23-38 Tigers. In the AL West, the Mariners in first place at 32-29, followed by the 29-31 Rangers, followed by the 20-31 A's, followed by the 27-34 Astros, followed by the 23-38 Angels. And then East, the Braves in first place at 40-20, followed by the 30-29 Phillies, followed by the 31-30 Brave Nationals, followed by the 27-34 Marlins, followed by the 26-34 Mets. In the AL Central, the Brewers in first place at 36-21, followed by the 31-27 Cardinals, followed by the 32-28 Pirates and Cubs, followed by the 30-29 Reds. And in the NLS, the Dodgers first place at 38-22, followed by the 32-26 Padres, followed by the 32-27 Diamondbacks, followed by the 23-37 Giants, followed by the 23-38 Rockies. And then as for today's games currently on today's games, A's leading Cubs through 4-2-1. Tigers leading the Rays 8-0, or have beaten the Rays 8-0, as that game just went final. Orioles leading the Red Sox 4-2, top 9. Philly Padres 3-2, bottom 8. Marlins beating the Nationals 4-3, bottom 8. Royals beating the Reds 3-1, top 8. The Braves beating the Blue Jays 4-3 through 7. Guardians leading the Yankees 5-4, bottom 6. Twins beating the White Sox 6-3, bottom 5. 3-0 Brewers through 5 against the Giants. 2-2 Cardinals and Rangers, middle 5. And Astros leading the Pirates 3-2, top 4. The game, so that have gone final, was just the Rays and Tigers game. And the games that haven't started yet. Rockies, the Angels, 9:38. Tomoyuki Sagano against Grayson Rodriguez. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, 9:40. Eric Lauer against Michael Soroka. And Mets and Mariners at 9:40. Edward Brazelban against Logan Gilbert. And that is it for this week's episode of Betting the Booth podcast. Thank you for watching, listening, if you're doing YouTube. Leave the like, hit the subscribe button, leave the notification notified when I go live and post a new video. If you're new in audio, follow the podcast, leave a notification when I post on there. Thank you for watching and listening, and I'll see you next week's episode 260. Bye.